What you doing? I'm your Otakutainment, the AC Stories for this Otakutainment reviews for Weekly Shonen Jump issue 13, my favorite number of 2025. Woo! This is a good one. I say that. There were some good ones. There were some really good ones. Those come near the end, though. Just jump right into that. Anyways, if you were watching this live, you can jump in whenever you want, chat, whatever. We can talk about whichever series you want to, but if not, I'm usually do just the least popular ones that are on Manga Plus. Start there, work my way up. If you're watching this in the future, feel free to jump into future streams. Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm talking about whichever ones. I don't have to do a certain order. This is just what I do unless someone wants to interrupt me. Either way, yeah, that's it. Let's just jump right into talking about some of the series, starting with me and Roboco. It's a weird one. Chapter 222, Sana and Roboco. Okay. So, it's a weird one. Okay. Bondo goes to the public baths, where apparently somehow everyone else is also there. And my notes suck. And then Roboco is also working there trying to pay off some debt. And this whole thing is just pretty much the creator just wanting to be a fan of saunas, because we learn like public baths, stuff like that. But we also kind of learn about like this feeling of Totono, just a really like a feeling of elation. It's just something I guess you can only get from something. I don't know, it's weird. This whole thing is just weird. But yeah, the creator just is a self-described lover of saunas, and that's pretty much it. And then weirdness ensures Roboco comes in doing the job, just a lot of fanning, which eventually by the end of it is going so hard it's like a tornado. I guess it's supposed to be a play on words, close to like Totono, tornado. Okay, cool. But yeah, Roboco ends up damaging the bathhouse and is now in even more debt. Of course, lost the job too. That's it. Pretty straightforward. Like, it had obvious bits in it, but it was like nothing too special to me. Like, it was just okay. And just moving right along, Super Psychic Policeman Chojo, number 51, the entertaining senior police officer. Not really entertaining, and this chapter really isn't that entertaining either. Kind of a lackluster start to this issue. Well, in the order I'm reading it, but yeah, it's the chapter focus all on Copbot. Copbot is acting as the chief's caddy / golf bag. In order to get that promotion, the whole suck up brown nosing method, sure, it works. But while they're golfing, Chojo shows up. Plays golf too. Chojo, of course, cheats while the whole time just poking fun at the chief, which leads the chief to have Copbot also cheat. Copbot has like a technologically advanced golf ball, but ends up exploding it just to sabotage, because Copbot realizes it wants to stay at the West Station with people that need that kind of guidance. So yeah, pretty straightforward. Nothing out of like the ordinary. Is kind of just like, yeah, okay. Like, also kind of really predictable. Like, it was just okay. So we're just going to move past it too. New Age Exorcist, chapter 87, the Hall of Sins. This one would be kind of creepy. It is something I would be actually interested in, being like, what would this look like in anime? Because a lot of times you get, I don't know, I see a lot of comments of people just being like, oh, I can't wait to see this as an anime, blah, 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 blah. I was like, sure. This one, I genuinely would be like, oh, there's some cool stuff in here. How would it get animated? It's creepy. It's kind of gross looking. But for now, we just have the manga. So, what was I doing when I wrote these notes? Okay. The bald. Is that... I don't know. Is it... Shiroha's parent? Or just the leader of the family? I don't know the exact relation. Probably a parent. But... just put the bald. Flees with Shiroha to the Hall of Sins, where there's a giant gross orb. And I don't know, they head down some other dungeon apparently where there's even more just gross kind of looking stuff, because they need to remove the contract from Shiroha for Kyokusu. I'm thinking some point someone mentions the Fujino family, right? I guess that's the name. Has some kind of connection to Hyo. I don't know if that means they have a Hyo or whatever. Something similar or something nearly as strong. But is that Kyokusu's true form? I don't know. Anyways. Oh, my notes suck. Then, I think either at least Shiroha dies or the bald one also dies. And the bald one's okay with it. Has backup plans, apparently, if that was to happen. But then they are attacked. By, I think the other one that got summoned, who I didn't put the name down for. Why did I not? I remember. I suck at names. I suck at names so much. Gasha Dokuro? I'm going to assume that's who it is. That one. Maybe. Or maybe just a random level 4. Who knows? Yeah, who cares? Yeah. So they're attacked. Then the bald one summons a Shikigami. And then Gakuru pops out of nowhere. Well, because of the whole invisibility, whatever. Or anti-detection, whatever. And then saves Shiroha. And that's when it went back to being like, really? Of course. Everything's gonna turn out okay, of course. All this Gakuro doing all this still makes no sense to me, but it's whatever. They can just do whatever. Now let's move on too. Gotta take a breather for this one. Star of Beethoven, number 3, Railroad Academy. This gave me a weird feeling. Now, if you know me, I went to school for music. Ooh. And it was my dream, of course, to do that. And go to school just for music. Of course, once you get there, you realize it's not what it seems. You have, a bunch of gen eds you gotta do to waste your time. Then, it's just not what you think. And this chapter has still has that imagination of what people think a music school would be like. While also still being close enough to give me the feeling to be like, I remember this. And I enjoyed it. But just thinking back on it is like, yeah. Okay. Cool. So, Yasuo goes to Railroad Academy for an applications interview, something like that. Well, apparently a lot of people still knew Yasuo. Yasuo and Beethoven were watching a performance or a rehearsal. Then people looked up, saw Yasuo. It's like, oh, okay. I guess people know you. Then after this, Yasuo goes to the interview while Beethoven's just running around the academy. Beethoven really likes to just wander and run and stuff. I don't know. Weird. Also, okay. I guess is it just the wonder and curiosity of Beethoven? Yeah, of course. But also the fact that this Beethoven isn't deaf. Maybe. But yeah, just being weird about all the music. Of course, there's future music. I can't remember exactly what. Schubert. Who? I don't remember. Here's some piece. Stravinsky. I think maybe Stravinsky. I don't know. Anyways, here's that. So a lot of music has come since Beethoven died, of course. Oh, there's a point of bringing up Mozart, and even Beethoven was like, oh yeah, Mozart was a genius, blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, okay, cool, right? Or is that a tree? That must have been in the chapter. Yeah, a lot of weird stuff. And then the interviewer gives also a hard time and does just the ridiculous part of like, yeah, let's just skip all the actual examination stuff and just have you play. It's like, okay, sure. Actually, I'm trying to think back of, well, my master's wasn't in performance, it was research. I didn't really take a test or anything like that. I didn't really do much to get in accepted. It probably helped that I was the only one accepted that year. So yeah, it's just weird. Like, it's so close to being like, oh yeah, this feels kind of nostalgic, but also like, oh yeah, this isn't exactly what it's like. And then, I try not to read comments, but I'm just curious of what other people think of this, because I'm like, this is not going where. Then I go comments and people are like, oh yeah, this really goes to show how blah 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 music, blah blah blah. And it's like, ooh, okay, yeah, it's not people. I'm sorry, it's not like this in real life. Anyways, and like, I feel douchey talking about that. It's like, I have a friend who went to Juilliard. Like, I know people and professors, celebrity musicians, people who went to Ivy League schools, people who play organ. It's like, then I get to a manga like this, I'm just like, yeah, I remember this. So it's like, I thought I would be more interested in it. It should hit closer to home, and I'm just like, But I will say, like, it does feel, regardless of the fact that Beethoven's live, it does feel closer to like a music school adaptation for manga than probably anything else I read. So like, it's getting closer. I don't know. It's just, it was a weird feeling reading this. It also kind of made me just miss being in school, but then also being like, ooh, my whole thing in school was to get out of school. Anyways, let's just move on before I ramble on about more stuff. Witch Watch 191, Momotaro and Company. Speaking of more artistic things, kind of, this one goes to show that you really shouldn't waste time trying to make everyone happy, or like, kids just have to learn lessons, and parents are a pain in the ass for teachers. Another thing you have to deal with. My bachelor's was in music ed. Parents, if I had to guess, one of the number one reasons of why people don't want to be teachers it was parents. That wouldn't surprise me. Anyways, so Nico's class is doing play based on like Momotaro, that's in the name. And then the teacher just ends up having to write a mess of a play, trying to be overly sensitive, not just to make sure all the kids have parts they want, but just have to be, I guess, PC, very politically correct. You can't offend anybody, but here's the thing, you're going to offend half of the people at least. There's always people getting offended. It doesn't matter which side you are. The fact that they're seeing sides is ridiculous. It's going to happen. So, I don't know. You just got to deal with it. This isn't advice. This is just me like being like, I wouldn't do this. This is too much work for no reason. You have to make kids understand. You have a part to play. Play that part. I think there's like 12 Momotaros, and then Nico ends up being the ogre, and then the rest of the kids, I think there's 2 kids who play like the parents. 12 Momotaros, Nico was the ogre, and everyone else was like random, not even just random animals. This chapter was so stupid and like a pain, and me also being like, I couldn't do that if I was a teacher. I would be like, no, pick this part. You get the part I give you. There's like 2 sumos, like they're supposed to be animals. 2 sumos, Inosuke from Demon Slayer, like, so stupid. And I get you want to make kids happy and feel included and enjoy what they're doing, but there needs to be some better structure at least. I don't know, it was weird, but that was it. It was just a mess. Honestly, it kind of felt like a mess of a chapter, but I think that was the point. I don't know. Anyway, so let's go on to Astro Royale, chapter 42. Since long ago, this was a decent chapter. Not, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to say anything bad about Astro Royale, but it's just not hitting for me consistently like I thought it would. I don't know. Like, it still has like decent moments. And I think this is going to be one of those series where you think back on it, and okay, that was a cool moment. That was a cool moment, but overall, it's like, this is like pretty neat. And that's kind of what this is. Like, we open with a flashback, literally just a page of Tyra, Shikawa. They're just poor, sharing food. Okay. I don't know. We're going to need to see more what happens once they're a part of the family for me to really care. Because we know they got taken in by a better family. Things should have got better, but who knows what happens after. Then Tarasu saves Tsukushi, but is stopped by Masunosuke, Nekosogi, Wood, Astro, or Roots. It looks something like that. And then Hiyohiko tries to step in, but is also stopped. And then it is actually Hachiku to the rescue. Yeah. That's kind of where it ends. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Next chapter should be pretty cool, action-wise. Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, that pretty much immediately came back to be helpful. Now Hachiku's just going to be here to help fight. Cool. I didn't expect it so soon, but it's kind of nice. Like, it's not just a random, like, and after another 20 chapters, this random character is back. It's like, cool. No, it's like an immediate payoff. So, I can appreciate that, at least. Okay, now, Kill Blue. Paige Nadi meeting her father. I could just say, yeah, that's what happens this chapter, and move on. And that's all you really need to know. But I'll give you a little bit more details. Because it's literally like meeting the father and then the chapter ends. So what happens before that? Hey, let's go back and see how we ended up in this situation. Dumb. I hate that. It's so dumb. Anyways, Norin turns down the marriage proposal. Good. Because Ogami's still a middle-aged person, a grown adult. Still hasn't told Norin that, but okay. Anyway, so Oka admits defeat this time, but still going to be sending unicorns for challenges. I guess. Now, I guess it's the next day. Wasn't able to get the school completely cleaned up, just able to clean up any proof of who was involved. So yeah, school's still wrecked. And then Ogami and Orin go to meet Orin's father. That's it. That's the chapter. Ogami being really confident in all this. Huh. Oh yeah, also, other person was... Don't mind me just looking up names in a real second. I'm trying to act like it. No, not that one. Hang on, I'm going to find the name. Kakeru is also discovered to be a hitman too. That's it. Yeah, that's Kill Blue. I don't know, there's not much to say about it. Still just kind of weird that Gomi's not saying anything about being a middle-aged man, but I guess that's a weird thing to say. But if you're going to be at least acting or proposing, like, the whole thing's been covered, just admit you're a middle-aged man. It's really weird that you're not. Anyways, let's move on. This chapter was, oh yeah, the Elusive Samurai chapter 192, intermission content. 1338 to 1350. Mainly 1350 is when this one takes place. This was a lot. There's just a lot going on. Just details. You gotta read for yourself, I guess, which I hate saying because that's kind of my whole point, is to tell you what's going on. So it focuses and Kanto on Kono Marufuru versus Uesugi and Noriaki, and it just also goes to show like examples of bad and good leaders. Marufuru is pretty much just like, hey, sell all your stuff, give me the money, blah blah blah, and Uesugi's just like, I'll help support you instead. So, leadership, it could be better. Then just to cut real quick to Kasuga Akikuni, executed while riding. Honestly, a pretty badass way to get executed. It looks like the execution was set up to be like this. But Kasuga, like, get all the writing out, will and stuff, poems, letters, all that, and then doesn't stop, just keeps writing something. I think it said something about writing in the afterlife, blah blah blah, and then it's like, oh, okay, cool. And then it says Tadayoshi. I think there was a typo. It was pointing out kind of Tadayoshi surrendered to the South Court, not the other one, the other Tada. Tadafuku, whatever. Because later it says it again, but it says Tadayoshi, and it kind of shows Tadayoshi. I don't know. But yeah, since they, I guess, maybe it was both of them. They worked together, because I feel like it also showed a picture. I don't know. Anyways, since Tadayoshi surrendered to the Southern Court, that means Tokiyuki and the Hojo army are there to back up Uesugi against the trapped Morofuyu. That's it. So I guess from here on, this intermission is going to be done with, and the main story, or wherever the next conflict is going to go on from here. It's been nice having this kind of time skip, but also like information. It's like chapters of just information dump, kind of, and it's just like, okay, I appreciate it. It's a lot. I'm just having to go through each week. It's like, okay, history, got it. What else is going on? Okay, cool. Okay, got it. And remember all this. Oh, and kind of am. I don't know. Hopefully at least enough. Anyways, let's move on to another nice chapter. Whoop! Here I am. Akane-banashi, story 147, maybe all powerful. Did that have anything to do with the chapter? I don't remember. So, Akane's continuing the Yon story. Doesn't get me the second time, kind of obvious, not as impactful. But the main focus of the chapter was the reason for going to France was to be limited, having used subtitles, not being able to really make any changes, improv or ad-libbing, and having to keep a consistent timing because the person controlling the subtitles, or maybe it's just automatic. No, I think it showed someone clicking the subtitles, has to also know what you're doing. So you have those limitations, and you use that to enhance what you can do. And that's pretty much it. Honestly, I don't think it was explained that well. Like, even when I say this is what I'm pretty sure it was, but it just doesn't feel like that's exactly how it was explained, and that's just how I'm interpreting it. But, yeah, not much happening. For something with such a cool, title page, kind of lackluster chapter. It's important, but the story didn't continue on that much. Not too much happened. It kind of just kept reiterating the same point through the chapter. I'm still looking forward to what's going to happen though. Anyways, let's move on to Ultimate Exorcist. Wait, did I skip one? I did skip one. How did I do that? Okay. Before Ultimate, let's go to Sidcraft. Love is a Mystery. Just gathering my thoughts on this. Oh yeah, Case 13. The Great Detective yields to the Red Lip Peach Blossom. This is in black and white. I can't tell what color lips. The Peach Blossom. Wait. Is that... Oh, wait. No, okay. I guess it's talking about Soulful. Flamberry. Okay, that makes more sense, I guess. Because it is focusing on... Okay, yeah. I thought it was referring to new character that's introduced this character. Honestly, this chapter is kind of dumb. I don't get the point of it. I don't get why this needed to be here at all. Because I keep thinking this series doesn't last long. Anyways, so Sid and Flamberry are in a cafe just talking about like a slasher case. Sid is just freaking out about the kiss or the air giving that happened before. And then we're introduced to some random person named Misery Kilthy. What a fucking name. Like, honestly, really. What likes to go by Mad Hell Misery. I have no idea why. Misery Kilthy is a lot cooler name. A lot weirder. It's just dumb. It's kind of cheesy. Never mind. Mad Hell Misery. Okay, never mind. That does sound cooler. But Kilthy? Misery Kilthy. Okay, cool. And for some reason wants to kill Sid. Just wants to be like a bad person in general. And for some reason decided to make Sid the first victim. But it's just too nice. Keeps trying to do bad things. And it's like, oh, but that, no, I want to be more considerate. Let me poison you. But no, I'll just put chocolate in your tea because that's whatever. And here's sweets, but I'm still going to pay. And it's like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And just gives them dessert for free, pretty much. That's it. Well, it gives Flamberry dessert for free. Eats most of it. And then the big twist that happens is the manager was fake the whole time too. It was actually the slasher. And then we see Misery. Okay, this part was actually funny. Then we just see Misery out back, like fetal position, kind of just like real scary people or real bad people are scary or something like that. And it's like, but I'm not gonna give up or something. That's like, oh, okay, that was kind of funny. That's it. It was kind of a dumb chapter. I don't get the point of it at all. Is this character ever going to come back? I doubt it, honestly. But yeah, let's move on to Ultimate Exorcist. Is that what I have next? Yeah. Okay. Ultimate Exorcist. This was pretty cool in a way. Enjoyable read at least, and I was looking forward to seeing what happened with Nihon and Jack Joe. Remember when they went to confront Hijiri? Well, that was to get Hijiri to train them, which is for Jack Joe to enter Nihon's shadow. It'll be like a disguise, and then they go and they fight as if they're in disguise or like their identity is secret, because that's what happens when they show up to help Akari. But then like they're starting to fight. The demon they're fighting actually knows Jack Joe, kind of idolizes, was like friend or rival, something like that. That kind of relationship it seemed. And there's a tiny struggle, but they end up winning fine because of their bonds. So, like, it was cool enough, but it was also pretty straightforward. It was neat to see Hijiri training them and having that kind of thing going on. But then the fight itself was like, okay, yeah, I get where this is going now. So, that was Ultimate Exorcist. Let's move on to Shinobi Undercover. Another, like, action-focused one, so there's not much to say. Really. Chapter 22, A Boss from Hell. So, all that happens in this one is Yotaka and Suzume fight Morhan, whose Kekai is poison skin, but it doesn't affect Yotaka. Okay, cool. Then when it seems Yotaka gets upper hand because Suzume's poisoned, the Morhan is starting to walk away. And, like, there's some humorous stuff in here, really, about Morhan as just being a boss and considered a decent-seeming boss, I guess. Also, it's, from the way Morhan talks, it doesn't seem like this whole thing was set up to be a trap. Because it still seemed like Morhan's worried that somebody let the information out or leaked it. But anyways, Morhan's walking away, Yotaka seems to start to get the upper hand. He goes after Morhan, but then out of nowhere, someone kicks Yotaka into an elevator shaft and then goes after Yotaka to start a fight. I don't think this person's name was said. I don't remember it being someone we met before, but so yeah, that's gonna go on. And I guess Morhan will fight Suzume and the other two, and maybe the other two that got knocked out will pop back up. Who knows what's gonna happen from here? But yeah, that was it. Pretty straightforward. And now, Himatan Mai. This one. Yeah, okay. I don't have much to say about this. This one's going to be real quick. Hematin, number 31. Broody Himari. Not bloody, Broody Himari. And this one, literally one line. I have nothing else to say or add to it. Himari is jealous because Iamori cleaned Kanai's house, so they go grocery shopping together. That's it. That's all that happens. Yeah, let's move on. Like, there's nothing else that happens. There's nothing else to talk about with it. I don't know. I have nothing to say. So, we're going to talk about embers. What is that? No. Am I stupid? Hang on. I am stupid. How did this happen? If you're watching this, you realize... Because I take the pages myself directly from the manga. How did I not notice there's a fucking horizontal? I'm on my PC. Where's this horizontal image coming from? I don't get it. Oh, that's embarrassing. If you're listening to this, it doesn't matter. So, I never noticed it till now. Embers, chapter 4, the first half. I don't know what's the first half, because it's literally just the beginning. But so they're playing a game, or they're going to be playing a game for the A rank tryouts and whatnot. Inanaki is uncooperative, and Haitani has no clue what's going on. Cool. Game tryout starts. Inanaki pretty much just lets Takami miss a bunch of shots because the other team does have like decent defense, so that's why. But then goes in to score, has a little trouble with Haitani, but then Kamigai's there to back Inanaki up, so lets Inanaki score the first point. But Haitani's confident that in taking Inanaki on solo, so Takami seems to come up with a plan in order to make this possible. That's it. That's where the chapter ends. I'm trying to think of anything that stood out. It was mainly just Inanaki just being very overconfident. But yeah, I'm starting to really like Komigai. Seems like a decent person at least. Interesting to learn more about that character later. See what's up. Because kind of just there, back up, but still like A rank team player, so but not really shining, so we'll see what happens then. Okay, anyways, move on with more sports. Blue box number 185, a problem. I'm trying to think of what the problem is. I think it's at the very end. Okay, so all that really happens is they do the badminton tournament. It ends in a tie. Every of the 3 pairs, each one of them won a match, so it's a tie. So they give Ayame the ticket for setting up this fun little game. That's it. And then I think it was the problem is at the end, someone talking to Chinatsu and was like, so you're going to live with Taiki, but then what happens if you go live by yourself? I guess it was supposed to be like, we're going to do it when you're by yourself. No, it was like, you're living with Taki's family, so you have to like have restraint, but what happens if you move away from them and then by yourself? And it was like insinuating some pervy stuff's going to happen maybe? I don't know. Let's move on. I don't have much to say about Blue Box. I wish I did. I should at least talk about the romance part more, but for some reason I'm keying in more on the sports part. I think that's because that's what most of it's been lately. But let's move on. Okay, so these last 4. This is where it really ramps up. Yeah, 4. And starts getting really good. So I'm going to have plenty to say about the next one. Ichi the Witch. Yeah, okay. Let's do this. The 23rd Hunt Gokuraku the Brutalizer. Ichi the Witch is so good. Okay, so we start with the story so far by Discaris, who, despite being seeming, it is kind of just very arrogant. Also is really humble. Like, this card whooped ass with the world hater magic, and like says it too, but it's like you really didn't do yourself justice. You really saved the day, but of course, no, it has to focus on Ichi. But it was Discards. Like, give yourself more credit, Discards. I know you are giving yourself all the credit. Give yourself more, okay? Okay, so now, and this is like cute, funny, like, kind of dumb thing on Ichi's part. Ichi just ignorantly tried to get Komugi to also sign a master pupil contract. Pretty sure it was a fake one, something that Ichi just made on the spot. Komugi has no idea what's going on. This card literally swoops in and takes Ichi before anything else can happen. That was great. So much humor. Just Ichi, which always kills it with just out there and just subtle humor. It's always like the back of the panel. The back of the panel type of humor is just, it's great. I love it. Okay, so let's get to the actual mission. They go to South Bakugami Mine to hunt the spider magic origami. Wait a minute. Is that right? I sure hope that's right, and it didn't just autocorrect in my notes. Is it origami? I guess so. Don't know what the magic would be at all, because when we get there, we see Gokuraku, the brutalizer, is already there torturing origami. Just over and over again, just threatening in so many ways. Assume Gokuraku's killed the magic multiple times in multiple terrible different ways, and has done the trial, which was to destroy the cage and cut off the horn. But still, even after doing that, got no magic. And origami keeps trying to say, look, you males can't have magic. It's just not possible. Of course, we know that's not true because Ichi swoops in. We even see a little Ichi outline because this card's community like, the fuck you go. Swoops in, cuts that horn off, acquires origami. We don't see anything else to do with that yet. And then starts to preach to Gokuraku about just hunting etiquette, I guess. I don't know. But then Gokuraku gets all sparkly eyes and it's like, oh, teach me to be a witch, and kidnaps Ichi. And looks like could get away, but it's literally ends with like passing by Discards. So probably not getting far, or maybe you will. Who knows? It's such a fun chapter. So good. Just to see where it is. The whole Ichi thing going on a Komugi. You want to be family? Fake looking contract. Cool. It's great. Okay. Oh man. And here's the thing. That's not even my favorite chapter of this issue. Do I want to save it for last? I'm going to, because it's a nice chapter. It's chapter nice. Well, no, let's just go ahead and talk about it. Here, you ready for it? Kagurabachi. Number 69. Oh wait, I do remember. The scarred face. The scarred one? The scar. Something about a scar. The person with the scar. Something like that. Person with the scar. Something like that. I keep forgetting Kagurabachi doesn't put the whole thing on one title page a lot of times. Anyway, so it's like a person with a scar, whatever. Anyway, so what's happening is the Sumi have to protect Iori on the rooftop because a bunch of thugs hired by the Hishaku, whatever that group is, and then the sword person from before, are I think literally climbing their way up to the top. I don't know how, but they're doing it. And they're just fighting them off. That's pretty much where we leave them, because then we cut to the main character of this chapter, Ikuru. Yeah, I love this so much. One of my favorite things in stories is when seemingly just normal, I don't want to say nobody, but like just normal, or just ordinary people who like nothing special, nothing, as far as like other characters are concerned, nothing special about them. But Ikura has been looking for Iori this whole time. Managed to find the hotel, tracked a little short one, I don't remember the name. and then got caught up in like the massacre that happened in the lobby, survived that, and then is trusted by pops up, and the whole time Chihiro was like, if you don't want to bleed more, then stay down and sing. And the whole time Ikura is just like, no, I gotta do this. And like, it just seems wholesome. It's not like Ikura generally just wants to save Iori because Iori was the only one who like really treated Ikura decently. And I I was generally just like pumped for this chapter, and seeing Ikura, it's just like, damn. I don't know, I'm like feeling teary up a little bit, just how exciting, like how much I just appreciate Ikura as a character. But yeah, Chihiro actually trusts Ikura with the key to go up. Ikura gets there, opens the elevator door, announces wanting to save Iori. The key, I guess, just being in the presence or whatever, or maybe Iori needing to protect Ikura causes Iori to awake, has a sword from somewhere, I don't know, and intervenes, protects Ikura. It's so good. It was such a good chapter. Yeah, I doubt Ikura's going to stick around after this. We haven't really seen other characters coming back yet, but I guess Iori's going to have a bigger part to play. But at first I was just like, what's with this random character? Just whatever. And then I was like, are they just going to slaughter it just for the hell of it? But no, it was so much better. I appreciate it. It was good. Yeah, so yeah, that's my favorite chapter for this issue. Now let's move on to Sakamoto Days. Another kind could have been emotional if I cared a little bit more. Days 202, Last Chance. I was gonna say, if it wasn't a flashback, I would feel it more, but there's like other flashbacks that are also emotional. It's just this one was kind of complicated feelings for Sheen and Otto. But turns out there are too many bombs on this boat. So they're not going to be able to get them. But before they can even decide on a plan, Akari tries crashing the ship to get to land in order to save Ando. I get the point, but also that's not going to help that much like you think it will. But it's okay, because Sakamoto literally pops up and is like, die. Kills Akari. Then, and just what's some of the most ridiculous thing ever, uses the anchor, I guess Akari's anchor, to knock down a helicopter, then use the helicopter's blade while it's still going in the water to use it to, like, I guess, push the boat back out or try to be more resistance. Don't know if the pilot is alive or not. It works. The ship stops. That part was kind of ridiculous. But the end is where it's like a little bit more emotional, because everyone's trying to flee the boat. Ando's trying to hold on, wanting to see Sheen one more time. Sheen's wanting to see Ando, but then Sheen can hear in the thoughts a kid stuck, so Sheen saves the kid, and I think as Sheen is saving the kid, makes eye contact with something, and Ando's just like, live. When I guess we can assume Ando dies, and then the ship explodes, and that's it. So it could have some emotion there, but not the kind for me. Now let's move on. Another big chapter. Chapter 1140, Scopper Gavin. I wish this one. Normally, I'm not the type who's like, I just want a chapter of action on this stuff. I kind of wish this one would have been. I wish this would have been the next chapter. Kind of. I wish there would have been just a whole chapter of just Scopper beating up on Luffy and Zoro, because that's pretty much what happens in this. I wish that would have just been a whole chapter, and then like it ended like the fight, because letting them have the key, told them to come back before leaving Elbaf if Elbaf is still standing. Cool. That very last part could have been the beginning of the next chapter, and then we could explore a little bit more with Holy Knights, Saint Somers and Saint Killingham are summoned, and apparently Shamrock's gonna have to go back, so I guess Luffy's not seeing Shamrock yet. That's kind of a disappointment for whatever reason. And now those two, and I guess the other one, who's the other one's name? I don't remember. I'm not going to bother looking. their whole task is to kidnap some giant kids in order to take back to the Holy Lands. For what for? Probably make slaves because they're terrible. And then they're kind of like, well, they can't be teleported because they don't have the mark, so we're going to have to sail through it. And then Shamrock's just like, make it into the game. So something fucked up about that. That's all we can assume by whatever this game is going to be. I mean, they're kids, so I guess they could just be tricking them. We don't know what's going to be. Oh, also, they make a comment about like, oh, you're here to visit Hadark's grave, Hardak's, I don't know, whatever, the old king's grave. It's like, that's a weird thing to say. Anyways, just want to throw that out there. But yeah, stuff I guess is going to start kicking off. I just wish we would have saw more Scopper fighting. Oh well, it was pretty cool. Like dual axe. I think Luffy goes in the 5th gear. Ewan was holding an axe, of course, Zoro being cool. The whole time Nami and the other giant is just there like, whatever. Yeah, that was it. That is it for One Piece. That is it for this Weekly Shonen Jump issue. It started really slow. Like, it was pretty justifiable ranking of whatever was at the bottom. Because the gag manga this week, kind of lackluster. Border on just kind of like too dumb, nonsensical. But it worked out because the ones at the end, there's a reason they're the most viewed. It's like so good. The whole reason I do this is for those few that I'm just really enjoying. But yeah, that is it for this Otakutainment reviews. If you want to join me in the future, remember Tuesdays 8 p.m. Eastern time. Jump in, we talk about any series in what order you want. I can always go back and forth, even revisit ones. I don't know. I do these streams just mainly to talk, and then I put out the video and audio later anywhere anyway. So if you are in the future watching this late, you can also just leave comments, find me on social media, email, all that good stuff. I have a Discord, plenty of places we can talk more about manga, anime, all kinds of other stuff. Links will be in the description, easy to find. But before I go, I also want to thank my Ko-fi members, Vic Slab and Julio Vasquez. If you also want to help support me on Ko-fi or Patreon, you don't have to. I appreciate either way. I have more stuff coming, so plenty to look forward to on that too. But that is going to be it. I have been your Otakutainment, the AC Stories. Until next time, thank you so much, and bye.